How you doing, bud?
I have no friends and I have nowhere to go. I have no money. I can't fix my car. I can't fix the housing, and I have nobody to help me turn the times in. I know a lot of people have good intentions. They just don't have good follow through. Unfortunately, I have to take abuse the entire time. I'm still getting harassed and phone calls online. I'm still having to deal with people screaming at me in real life. I'm sorry. Can I harass you after work?
Hmm?
Can I harass you after work?
Yeah.
What time do you get off?
Around 10 o'clock.
Welcome. If you have your club card, key in item code 4011. Weigh your bananas. Please touch accept weight to move your banana to the bag. 22 cents. If you have your club card, please scan it now. How many store-provided bags did you use today? Your total is 22 cents. Please select your payment method. Please insert coins, then insert bills. Please wait. System process. Please remember to take your receipt. Thank you.
waiting in Canada. And she was gonna help me. And she's super nice. And she was gonna help me a long time ago. And like with many people who say they're my friend, they have good intentions. Just like Krista at the Starbucks. Sure, she has good intentions when she says, yeah, come in here when people are doing that to you. Well, I can't just live in Starbucks. I can't just live at Safeway. I literally can't take care of myself. When I'm harmed, I need a friend or family member to help me to turn it in immediately. That's what I need. Not somebody who's going to stand there and me get talked over. Now, there's a way past it, and it is to write it down. Since I'm called mentally ill, I have to have a friend or family member verify the evidence, which is what I've been asking for from the start. I'll show you evidence of the assault. You help me turn it in. But over and over and over again, all of these people, over and over, I don't know how, I don't know how, I don't know how. I am tired of people using I don't know how as an excuse not to listen to how. When the same person says, I don't know how, over a dozen times, they are not going to try finding out how either. It's disheartening. It's dehumanizing. It downplays the abuse that the victim is going through. So we'll talk about Candace here a bit. Good intentioned. Very good intentioned. I tried telling her, before we get started, if you could take an hour to sit down with me, just like I had done with Nathan before we got started on getting the GoFundMe started and getting that card started. Nathan paid for that card. He paid the $20 for it. But I explained to him we can't have it sent to a P.O. box. They won't do that. He said, oh, okay, well, we'll do it this way. If you thought of this, if you thought of that, and then what about a P.O. box? Like, dude, I already told you a P.O. box isn't going to work. Oh, okay. So this thing, they have it to his house, right? And it doesn't get sent to his house. Because he didn't have it sent to his house. He had it sent to a P.O. box. Well-intentioned. But I've done that before. I have already tried. I did that. They won't send it to a P.O. box. It'll get sent back. They won't send it to a P.O. box. That was like 5 months ago. 4 months ago. And it cost me $10 against my credit, apparently, every single month. We sat down, a bunch of pieces of paper, he locked all the pieces of paper he had. They're all over the place. He was well-intentioned. Yesterday, for the first time, we tried to come together, but the thing is that from day one, I tried explaining to these people I have to turn in situations with the police, and then it's all, I don't know how. Well, guess what? I do. That's why it's important to listen to me. I do know how. I'm trying to tell you how, and you keep interrupting me, telling you how, to tell me you don't know how.
First, you have to listen to the victim, not talk over them. It's good when you're listening that you are listening. But when you interrupt to say something like, I don't know how, or you've this, that, and the other, and everything that I've tried, no, what you're doing is you're throwing in my face the things that we've done. And I say we because I did try those things with you. I did go. But there were things that you needed to understand before we went. I understand those happens. Candy was going to take the time to listen, but she's got issues with her phone up in the mountains. So she got to go stand out in the cold, and she was sick.
My record is skipping typed hello.
Well, hello. Do you give a holy fuck what I'm going through? I need somebody to fucking listen so they know what the fuck is going on. And when I send them evidence, I need them to actually fucking look at it. I need them to not get stuck on some fucking retarded bullshit. Yeah, I'm in distress. Yes, I am in distress. I am. You don't like me fucking moaning? I was moaning. I was moaning. This is the problem with having to trust fucking strangers, because I don't have any real goddamn friends. I get a bunch of I'm fucking sorries. Let's take a look at this shit. No, there's not someone else. No, there's not someone else. There's no one else here in my fucking car. It's just me. It's just me. But that's what you're fucking stuck on? There you go. Bunch of blocked calls. Called me a whole shit ton of times. Let's see how many times Ethan's called me. 309-316-2267. Blocked. History. 1 declined call and 1 blocked call. There you go. No friends to talk to. They're just going to talk over me. They're literally not going to hear a goddamn thing I have to say. Let's take a look at this one. Look at that. Yeah, that number's fucking blocked too. Oh yeah, but you're not going through it. So you don't give a fuck. You just say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Bullshit, you don't know what to do. You'd know exactly what to do if it was a friend or family member. That's why I'm pissed off at these pieces of shit calling me friend. Here's another one that I blocked. Yeah, that's right. That's all from tonight. Thanks, fucking assholes. See the difference between you pieces of shit and myself. Take a look at that. Here's another one. Another one. Huh? You like that? Look at all those fucking calls from that block number. 33 of them from that one number. Let's take a look. We'll fucking scroll through. We'll scroll through this shit. Does Alicia Ballinger have to go through this shit? Does Ted Ballinger have to go through this shit? Huh? Does Candace have to deal with this shit? Does Nathan have to deal with this shit? No, they fucking don't. There's where I called Candy in between phone calls. Well, there's our history. See? We got a whole history going on there. A whole history of phone calls. All the way up, all the way down. See that? A whole history. A whole history of what? Apparently, nothing. Apparently, none of that happened. Apparently, it's all a figment of my fucking imagination. There's no one block calls. Here's some more. These are all from the night, assholes. No, it's not spam. It's people fucking harassing me. Because I'm trying to get help stopping abuse. And that includes this harassment. I don't have a way to get away from these people. I have no safe place. What the fuck is anybody at Safeway gonna do but tell me they're fucking sorry for 6 months? Dude calling himself my record is skipping. I don't know it's even happening. I just joined a couple days ago. Oh, wow. Yeah. Phone call after phone call after phone call to people I'm supposed to call for help. See, that's the thing with all this shit. The least they can fucking do is document that it's fucking happening. I don't care if you know any of those names. Obviously, you're not gonna. You only been here a couple of days. I'm sorry that YouTube recommended you here. It doesn't feel good to have fucking panic attacks online because I have 0 friends in my fucking life to listen. Of course your ears hurt. Another restricted call. You don't stop to think how harmful this fucking is, and neither does anybody else. And I'm not talking to you, your record is skipping. You're not to blame for the horrible things that other people have done. My record is skipping typed, I don't know why you're yelling at me as I don't even know you from Adam. And that's the thing, I'm not yelling at you. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I need a real friend to help me to stop this ongoing abuse over Natalie Ballinger. I need people to stop saying I don't know how. All right, I've got literally list upon list upon list of places that will help us if someone makes the calls with me. But nobody does. Nobody does. I have to believe that they're going to when they say they will.
I have to believe they're going to write it down when they say they will. I have to believe they're going to take a look when they say they will, and when they don't, I'm not allowed to say anything. My record is skipping typed. I don't know what to say. Well, yeah, you're not supposed to say anything. That's the thing with someone being victimized. The more you interrupt, the more impossible it is for them to speak or to trust that you're going to let them. My record is skipping typed. I'm listening. And the reason I'm reading that instead of the can you change your number is because no, I can't. I can't just keep changing my number. My predators use that to pretend like I'm making all sorts of crazy numbers to harass them in the way that I'm obviously being harassed. They pretend because I speak up about how harmful this is, that I'm a horrible monster. And none of these people set up a time and actually keep their word when they set up a time to call and listen. Most people, they have 5 or 6 occasions where they dip out on me, no call, no show. My record's skipping type, what do you need done? Well, a lot. My record is skipping type. Can you explain what needs to happen? Yes, I need someone to listen to me so they understand me one-on-one. Because there's a lot of stuff I can't say on YouTube or Facebook. And then they have to be willing to make phone calls with me and explain what it is I explain to you. When I explain to you my living conditions, please don't do what everyone else does, which is try to come up with solutions. That's not going to work. That's just going to prevent you from understanding how serious a situation it is. Also, I have an email address. Dogged Roman is my tag on here. doggedroman@gmail.com is my email address. Send me an email address or send me an email. I'll send you a message from Natalie Bollinger from 2016. What needs to happen is that I need to be allowed to show the evidence of the abuse by the Bollinger family and their friends. But I've been illegally forced into homelessness, into a situation where I can't do that. And someone needs to speak up about that, about how real it is. And that's why I send all of these people evidence, is so they can see it's the truth. And then they can make the phone calls with me to the places that they need to be made to, and they can speak up when a false narrative is sold. Officer Martinez spoke a false narrative yesterday. What does that mean? It means he lied intentionally. All these people that I tell I need help going through the evidence in person, and I need someone in person to speak up. If you're not able to be there in person, I can understand that, but the courts don't unless you say something. If you're not able to because you're sick, I understand that because you let me know you were sick. But if you don't let the courts know that, then I'm treated like I didn't make an effort. I can send you the evidence that shows that I've been threatened, harassed, intimidated, and bullied. But I have over 16,000 screenshots on just one phone. I tell people how important the evidence is, and all they want to do is, have you tried this place? Have you tried that place? Have you tried housing? Have you tried this housing place? Have you tried that housing place? Hey, I know this housing place. I'm sending you evidence of abuse. That includes systemic abuse. When I was literally forced to break the law to try to get heard because none of my friends or family were doing anything except talking over me and pretending if you ignore abuse, it goes away. No, it doesn't. Then they wanted to bully me into moving. Like that's going to help. No, it doesn't. It makes things more complicated. But they didn't want to hear that. They just wanted to bully me into doing their solution. And how many of them spoke up about that? Especially after I was treated like I was a criminal for following their suggestion. There's a lot of names that you don't know, and that's what sucks, is that I always have to start off with somebody green. And I'm going to get more and more frustrated, a lot easier with each new person. Because I am too overwhelmed. My record is skipping type that confused me, not to come up with solutions. I'm taking notes. All right, first, I suppose I should let you know, since you are taking notes, when it comes to stopping abuse, whether it's against a child, an at-risk adult, an elderly person, or your neighbor getting beaten by her husband or by his wife, you're the difference. The victim, you may be the only person that they have. You may be the only person that they have to go to. And when you're trying to pawn them off on government services that literally, historically, do not help people unless they have a friend or family member helping, you have to act as a friend or family member. That means you need to be informed of what's going on, and you need to speak for the victim. And that's a tough one there. But we'll focus on how to listen. It is a lot. But I've had a lot of people that have threatened me and threatened to kill my friends and family, and a lot of people who at me, a lot of people who promised to help. A lot of evidence. Many of the people that were promising to help me were friends with my predators and had been long term, and they didn't bother to let me know that. There's a lot of evidence of people lying to me and pretending a different thing happened later on. There's a lot of screenshots of people making fake accounts to harass me, to bully me, to bully my friends and family. But my friends and family didn't speak up. There's a lot of videos with myself and different people that I stayed with. For many of them, they just don't want to admit to their alcoholism, their drug addictions. Many of them ran away because of what's posted on my YouTube. There's a man named Brett Roloff. He was a witness to the situation with Natalie Bollinger and my trip to Virginia, as well as why I wouldn't go back afterwards. Well, he was able to eventually convince me to go there, and I went. And now there's a video on my YouTube channel of him overdosing on a bag of methamphetamines he swallowed. I don't fuck with that shit. And I wouldn't have gone there had I known he was that fucked up. Yeah, I would have. I definitely would have. I gotta take that back. Because Shannon Alvarado's was really that bad. When I try to tell people about the abuse I'm enduring and how to turn it in, they've got 10,000 alternate solutions. When I explain that making me go in alone results in me being abused and I have records of the abuse, listen to that. Understand that what I'm dealing with, these bullies aren't just nationwide, they're worldwide. You should look up the name Natalie Bollinger. They make all these web sleuth sites, and everywhere I go, I get harmed, assaulted, threatened, bullied into moving elsewhere. And people who claim to be my friends don't try to understand that because they're not going through it. And when I try to show them, they want to argue instead of looking, or tell me it won't make any difference, or they tell me about how the police are in their town. Every town they say that. So what listening requires is for you to listen to what they're going through so that you understand what they're going through. The evidence that they send you is important. I know that I'm not talking right now, and that's because people don't stay in correspondence. I don't have a friend that I can talk to every day, especially one who's not in a hurry and telling me to go see him when they're at work. Like, hey, that'll get me in trouble, that'll get you in trouble. I'm sorry, I really should have stuck with the script. Step one, when helping somebody who's being abused, step one is to listen. Step two is to believe them. Now here's the thing with the stories I tell, I have evidence of it, and after I've said my part, I'll also send evidence of it, evidence that I told the truth. If I can correspond with you one-on-one, I won't have to put it on YouTube. I'll be able to save it offline to some degree. But as far as it goes, you're not supposed to offer advice. The reason for that is because the victim knows what they need better than you do. Also, giving advice, that's not based on what they're going through. It's based on your opinions of what they're going through. So advice is a bad idea. It's always a bad idea to start talking about yourself, because then, to the victim, you're taking away from their voice, from what is important, which is the experience that they've just had, and it is a traumatic experience. When you're trying to talk about yourself to make a connection, you're not making a connection at that point. You're talking about you. And that makes it very scary for somebody who is already scared to speak, already afraid that they're going to be talked over, already afraid that somebody is going to make it into a conversation about them. So it's not a good idea to talk about yourself. Yes, you may have been in a similar situation, but you're not in theirs. Talking about your similar situation is only going to take away from the time that you have to listen to the victim. If you have a limited amount of time, that's okay. But reminding the victim over and over and over again about how short of time you are, that's not okay. It hurts the victim. It makes them afraid to speak. If they're not able to fix a 5-minute problem, or sorry, a 5-year problem in 5 minutes, you're going to dump them and throw them away because you've got better things to do than give a shit about somebody. So try not to do that. When they have to go in, don't make them go in alone. When they have to fill out paperwork, don't make them fill out the paperwork alone. I can send paperwork of my diagnoses. I can also send you paperwork from what my predators tried to say. Unlike most victims, I'm actually encouraging people to listen to my predators. Why is that? Because the evidence that I have shows my predators lied, that I was denied my rights in court repeatedly because predators lied. Evidence that I am in fact disabled. Evidence that police didn't want to do their jobs. Evidence that I am harmed to this day because of police who didn't want to do their jobs. There's also a lot of evidence that I need to be able to get back, and that's going to require phone calls. There's also what happened to all of my disability money. Now, all of these things, when it comes to listening, sorry, my record is skipping. I didn't mean to ignore that you were typing. Wow. My record is skipping, type E. That's not good. So you're the victim that you keep referring to. I'm one of them, yes. You type I was confused. Well, I keep trying to get people to understand that I'm the victim. Yes, I'm the victim of abuse. But it doesn't matter if I'm the victim or if your mother's the victim. It's the same thing. You need to listen to the victim and help them turn it in. You may not know how to turn it in, but saying over and over again that you don't know how doesn't mean you can't try calling some people with the victim. My record is skipping, type death threats. Yeah, people threatening to kill me and my friends and family, including my little sister. My record is skipping, type this is a crazy ordeal, Jiminy Christmas, oh Jesus. Yeah, you're right. And that's what things about coming on after a couple of days. You're not going to understand why I'm having a severe panic attack, but I've been going through this since 2015 as far as my friends just being lip service. That's because on my birthday in 2015, I hurt my back. My record is skipping, type sounds like you're in quite a bind. All these people hurt you? Many of them did. A lot of the predators that I have didn't physically assault me. They financially took advantage of me, physically took advantage of me. There were a couple of sexual assaults as well. There's also all the systemic abuse of preventing me from turning it in. My recording is skipping, typed. I wonder why you can't get housing. Well, I had housing twice. I was being abused both times. The first time I had to move out of it because I was being told that I had to go to Colorado for help stopping the abuse by Natalie Bollinger and her friends and family. I had to go to a therapist to get help doing that. Really? I was pretty sure that's a police officer's job. I can't get housing because I broke windows. and my housing in Chapel, Nebraska the second time through. Because I literally could not get one single friend or family member to care about any of the abuse in that town. That's the thing about Natalie Bollinger's death. And the places that people know me, they didn't care that I didn't kill her. It was a point of contention and entertainment. One of them small town things. I had nowhere to go. My record is skipping typed what script. There's a list of things you're not supposed to say to a victim. You're not supposed to say sorry. There's a lot of stuff that you can say as an icebreaker. But you don't have to do any of those things when somebody is already trying to spill their fucking guts at you. Pardon my French. You also got to have a thick skin. If they're trying to tell you something important and you just plain can't get past something that you're stuck on, they may yell. Because they are scared shitless that you're going to get stuck on that thing for an hour. And that leaves them for an hour answering your questions, and later on you're going to explain to them that you already spent an hour listening to them. Now, not you in specific, but most people. My record is skipping type. Oh, I hear vibrating. Yeah, that's people calling me from restricted numbers and harassment numbers. Who keeps doing that? Well, it's a bunch of my stalkers. That's who keeps doing it. Is that Jeremy? Probably is. Sorry. That thing is really loud.
Huh?
That thing is really loud.
No, not a diesel.
I still ain't able to get it fixed. None of the people said they were going to help me actually were able to come by. I don't have anywhere to put my vehicle, and the ladies that say Sarah already taught me about needing to move it. I literally can't take care of myself. I can't. And the camper thing, or the RV or whatever it is, like, that's a really good idea, but I have to get out of this parking lot first. I gotta come up with $67 to something like that to pay insurance, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to do that before I'm towed. I got my vehicle full of evidence I can't carry it. I need somebody to understand that and help to get me somewhere emergency like. Yes, sir.
So you said $67 is how much your insurance costs?
I think it is. I'd have to call them up with someone to make sure, and that's a real big problem. Right now, I'm having to deal with people calling me from restricted numbers and harassment numbers on both my phones. So I'm trying to...
Well, find out how much it's going to cost for your insurance. I'll pay for it for the month. I work tomorrow. So...
Yes, sir. I'll still have to push it out to the street, but as long as the insurance is paid, they can't tow it. I just have to move it every 72 hours.
Yeah.
Not that I ever paid attention to none of it, although they basically just change the laws whenever they want, which is one of the things about having somebody to help me turn it in right away when they break the law. As guys, we're not supposed to, I get that, but I'm disabled and I can't take care of myself. That's pretty obvious. And with all the people here who have stated outright how screwed up this is, like, it, I can find out it's Esurance that does my insurance. I don't know it. I get paid my disability money $800 on the 1st. I just have to try to make it until then. And I'm sorry for the whiny voice. I was screaming at my phone and stimming earlier. I rock back and forth and moan, and it scares people. Do you know how to do that? The internet card stuff to do that? Because that's the way we've always had to do it before. Is I gotta go talk to somebody else to make the phone call with me to the eSurance thing, and it's a little eSurance quote thing. I do have a computer. I gotta have somebody carry it up into the library so I can use it and carry it back down, which just makes it really difficult, and it takes like an hour to start it up. So if there's a way that like they basically just want my information and then the billing information, so I'd basically have to just do that and then hand it to you and have you do that part, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
What time did you think you would be here tomorrow? Because we can make the call. I have this is my old insurance card. It was good until December, and usually they don't like it when it lapses.
I start at 1:30 tomorrow.
Yes,
I can
sir.
get here probably around like 11:30.
Yes, sir.
We can get this going and get you insurance.
It says insurance identification card, agency company issuing card, eSurance Insurance Services Incorporated, P.O. Box 660637, Dallas, Texas 75266-0637. So it's got a bunch of information on here. It's all the stuff I'll need to do it again. The make and model, like everything should be on here.
Yeah.
And then the who to call on the back.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
We'll do that tomorrow. I'll get here around 11:30 to noon. We can go and get insurance on the car for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't have panic attacks. They make people angry. That probably doesn't sound like it makes sense. I'm sorry. There was something I was gonna talk to you about, and I don't remember what it was because I was trying to talk to a guy on the internet who might be able to help and understand, but he just found out I exist like 2 days ago, so I'm trying to work with him. Candy's mad at me, so pretty much everybody else is probably going to be mad at me tomorrow too.
So why is Candy mad at you?
Because I snapped at her. Not intentionally. She said something that's triggered every time somebody says it. And I'm trying to turn in abuse, and they say I don't know how. Well, most people don't know how. That's why I try to tell them. But then when I try to tell them, it ends up being basically an argument where I'm having to fold every time because I need their help. Anyway, she wasn't intending for it to trigger me, but like it made me cry instantly, and I had to try to talk over crying, which is impossible.
Yeah.
And she was mad at me for yelling at her because she's trying to help me. But the thing is, yes, she's absolutely trying to help me, but she's not hearing and she's not taking the time to listen. And I understand why. Like, her life is very real. Her family is very real. Her job's real. All of her employees are real. She's got to listen to all your bitches, and then she's listening to mine. And a lot of the people here who are witnesses to the situation, instead of writing a report to help out so that I can help turn it in, so that they can help turn it in too. They're like, well, isn't Candy going to help you with that? Like, no. She lives miles out of town. She can't come in and see me. Most of the people who offered to help. They live miles out of town. They got shitty service, and it makes it impossible to get a hold of them. Like I'm listening to all her problems and shitty for even asking her for help. I listen to what she's got on her plate, and when she offers to help with stuff, I'm grateful for it. The thing is that I was trying to say something important, and now I'm not able to hardly talk at all, if you can't tell. Like, usually I try to keep it light when I'm in Safeway. I try to keep my stuff private, but I'm stuck in public.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll let you go to bed. I can't remember what it was, but I'll be here when you get here tomorrow.
All right.
Can I give you my number? Here, that's not it. It's on the back of my other phone. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. A whole bunch of people been calling both of my phones tonight to harass me. So that makes it real difficult for me to communicate because I'm in a state of, well, state of being overwhelmed.
All right, I'm going to give you a call.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's me, bud.
All right. I'm gonna save it then. Hopefully I don't get 2,000 more calls in between now and then. Thank you, Jeremy.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'm surprised I was able to speak. I'm overwhelmed all the time. Because when it comes to abuse, there's a way to turn it in, and people don't help me with that way. They got all their ideas of how it's supposed to work in an ideal society and in an ideal world. But I don't live in an ideal world. I live on the streets in my car. Somebody helping to pay my insurance, that is a big help. I was ripped off for all of my money over the last 8 years, 7 years. I got my disability in 2017, and repeatedly police officers have been allowed to harm me along with the Bollingers. Because I didn't have a friend or family member that cared I was being abused. They didn't care to look at the evidence. Listening to the victim is really the most important thing. Listen through the first time without interrupting. But you know what? Nobody can do that at this point because I've already gotten to the point where I can't function anymore as a human being. I don't have the money to do the things that I'm being required to do. I've got a pocket with things that people wrote down because they wanted to be helpful. But you know that between going in with me and those notes are likely, well, how did the cops in Colorado and the ones in Wyoming treat it? They'd say, well, how do we know you didn't write that? How do we know you didn't write that? A couple of them have people's phone numbers on them. Before and now. Cops, same thing. When they bully me, it's always the same. Sometimes they're louder, sometimes they're quieter, sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're mean, tonally. Most of the time they're condescending. And I don't know how much stuff you've typed that I missed. Who keeps doing that? That would be my stalkers, of course. My record skipping type. Wait, are you the victim? I'm still learning. Yes, I am. I feel like I'm in an episode of The Twilight Zone. Yeah, so do I. Like I'm in purgatory. My record's skipping typed. Wait, who is the victim? Is that you speaking in third person? Yes. I'm trying to explain to people that when a victim is being abused, whether I'm the victim or anybody else, it's the victim's story that needs to be heard by you before you make a whole bunch of decisions for them. And now my story is too long. When it comes to my disabilities, when I'm being abused, I'm supposed to have a caseworker that I can go to and let know that I'm being abused, because I don't have a friend or family member to do that. But my case manager isn't going to do that job unless a friend or family member gives them some incentive to do so. They don't fear the consequences of them not doing their jobs the way that their victims have to fear the consequences of them not doing their jobs. My record is skipping typed. Who are predators? Please read the chat. Ted Bollinger, Danica Garner, Rochelle Shelley Campbell, Natalie Bollinger, Alicia Bollinger, Maddie Boa, Adam Klein, Jennifer Farina Bollinger, Tim Beeson, Angela Wade, Tara Hicks, Michael Albert, Tabitha Michelle Cook, Andrew Wanez, a bunch of cops. See, that's the thing. I was painted as a predator and never given a chance to defend myself, never allowed to face my accusers. They just slandered my name wherever the fuck they wanted, and people have been beating on me ever since. My record's skipping typed, you're confusing me. Evidence of what you need back. Oh my God, I heard on your video you were sexually assaulted by police in jail. Actually, I was sexually assaulted by police in prison. By the way, I was in prison for trying to turn in bad cops. Those bad cops pressed false charges on me to prevent me from turning them in. They were only able to keep me locked up for 7 months before they had to let me out. But that was long enough for them to slander the shit out of my name and try to have me pegged with shit that wasn't true. That's how it works in small towns. If the cop says it must be true, nobody's got the balls to stand up to him. My record is skipping type. That's bad. My record is skipping type. My mom ain't no victim. My heart bleeds for you, OMG. Broke windows. Jesus, I almost fell out of my easy chair. I didn't know you were accused of murder. Well, here's the thing. I was never charged with murder. The people who were accusing me of murder were Natalie Bollinger's predators. And then a bunch of nut jobs who didn't give a fuck who was telling the truth. My record is skipping typed, you'd be in jail if you were a murderer. You're right. My record is skipping typed, I hear a motor running. Is that a lawnmower? No, that was big ass Cummins turbo diesel. You probably aren't from farm country. A Cummins turbo, the turbo wasn't on that thing. It was just the Cummins diesel, but he could have kicked the turbo on that thing and we heard a word of anything said. My record is skipping type. That motor sounds like it needs a tune-up. Yeah, that's because it's a fucking diesel. They're trash. My record is skipping type. Do you need $67? HM. Wow, thank him. Thank him. JFC, dude, thank the man. Show gratitude. I'm about to get frustrated with you. I'm baffled. Dude, I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak. Like I was trying to understand what was going on. You know, with the electronic stuff, I was trying to explain. I don't know how to do none of that. I do say thank you and I do show gratitude. My record is skipping typed. I'm baffled. Poor guy sounds taken aback. I apologize. I've never witnessed anything like this before. Thank the man, please. I need to pee. That'd be me. Be right back. Be right back. I'm not leaving. You said thank you. Thank Fog Dog. I almost lost respect for you for not thanking that generous man. Well, I'm thankful to all these people. And I do say thank you. Matter of fact, a lot of people tell me that I say thank you too much. My record's skipping type. Maybe you need medication. Well, maybe you need to kiss my ass. I don't think you need to kiss my ass, and I certainly don't need medication. I need help stopping abuse. Drugs don't stop abuse. A lot of people think that, don't they? You had that girl in high school that you lost your chance. Now you're gonna dig down into the bottom of a bottle, right? Or, of course, your mommy and daddy didn't love you and they beat you too much, so you fall into heroin. Not you, obviously, but yeah. My record is skipping typed. You need to show gratitude to people. You need to kiss my ass. I do show gratitude. But there are times when I'm afraid to speak and I can't get the words put together right. And I did say thank you, by the way. I always say thank you. My record is skipping typed. You stopped reading chat. Darn. No, I didn't. My record is skipping typed. Police officers treat you badly. Hell, eek. Yeah, they do. That's what it's like being a homeless man. It sucks. My record is skipping typed. It was kind of abusive when you started screaming earlier. I'm new here. I'm scared. It scared me kind of. Yeah, it scares me when people do that shit in real life. I call all sorts of mean names. I'm not sure if you noticed. And I do show gratitude. But here's the thing. When I'm screaming, are you afraid? Yeah, that's how I feel when people talk over me. That's how I feel. When people have 10,000 ideas and none of them include turning in the violence with me. It gets very scary. My record is skipping typed. Why were painted to so many? Parolee? Nope. Never been on parole. I was let go because I wasn't guilty. Time and time again, police officers have been able to retaliate against me for telling on them. I've been forced into a community that, well, as somebody who doesn't do drugs, I don't fit into. A lot of these people, when something harmful happens to me, and I try to let them know, please take the time to listen. Actually take the time to listen. I need help turning in harm. Today, Nathan, when I was trying to tell him that it's against the law for me to have to turn in my predators to my predators, it's a conflict of interest. That it was a conflict of interest for Martinez to even be there. What did Nathan say? It's a conflict of interest for police to show up? No, it's fucking not, stupid. And how dare I use the word stupid for somebody who wants to help me, right? Yes, good intentions and all that. Inability to listen and difficulties following through. People want to stuff these different ideas they had over and over and over again, as if I'm able to do all those things, and if those magically going to fix it just because they said. My record is skipping typed. It sounds like you've been through hell. I acknowledged that you said thank you. That's good. I've been through 7 years of begging people to acknowledge that I'm being abused. For people to acknowledge that if you don't go in with the victim right away, the victim will have to take the abuse. And they'll continue having to take the abuse until you help them to turn it in. We could go individually, month by month, assault by assault, if you wish. That'll take forever. I can send you thousands of screenshots of people making up harassment accounts. That's the only thing they make them for, is for harassing. My record is skipping type. Screaming wasn't expected and my ears were bleeding. Not literally. Yeah. See, that's one of the things about focusing on the abuse. I'm scared. I don't want to be. Who does? But most of all, I'm afraid that people are going to talk over me. There's a lot of details that I'd like to give, but instead I just end up saying the same things over and over again. Like an emergency beacon. SOS. 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 Well, I'm probably about out of battery. These people don't understand the conditions I live in. I'll show you what I live in. People helped out a lot with a lot of things that they wanted to help with, but never with the things I needed help with. Looking at evidence and speaking out, making calls with me to whoever it is that we have to call to get it heard. It's not just abuse against me, it's abuse against others. I can't function right now as a human being, and I wish that I could. All of these people are allowed to be as mad as they want, but the fact is, it's the complacency of others that results in disabled people being victimized for the rest of their life. Police officers didn't want to do their jobs in 2016 or 2017. They got my best friend fucking killed. It also resulted in me being abused a fucking lot. And all the places that were supposed to help me neglected their fucking duties to do so. My record's skipping type. What did they lock you up for? You didn't go from jail to prison? I don't know who Nathan or Martinez are. Nathan is a guy who works at the Safeway who wants to help. He just doesn't have time. There's a lot of other things involved, but it's his personal business, not my place to give it out to everybody, as much as I would really like to right now. And Martinez is an officer that's taken part in the bullying here in Tillamook, Oregon. Natalie Bollinger was killed in Thornton, Colorado. I was only 5 blocks from her when she got shot, actually. Imagine that. My record's a skipping typed. If you've been hospitalized a lot for getting beat up so much? No, I haven't. I have to be afraid of going to the hospital because I'm a homeless man. I'll just get treated like I'm a junkie. They won't listen to me. They'll talk over me and bully me. And, well, I was assaulted at the hospital here last year. And I've been trying to turn it in ever since. But to this day, not one single person made any effort to help turn it in. I had to try to do so by myself. Out here, you just have to take it. My record is skipping type. Why don't you make a cassette recording for people to listen to? I actually did that here on my YouTube. That's what I've been doing on my YouTube. Speaking up so that people can listen. But I have to be way too vague on this goddamn channel. My record's skipping type, then they can ask questions after. Yeah, no doubt. But they don't. When people tell me they're confused, that's okay. I'm pretty confused too. There's a lot of stuff that is highly against the law, and nobody helped turn it in. That's confusing to me. It's also a very complicated situation. which is what predators and law enforcement prey on. My record is skipping, typed record your story and let people listen so you're not interrupted. That's exactly why I made the YouTube channel. And so I could speak without being interrupted. That's the whole reason that I made recordings on Facebook, so that I could speak and say what I needed to say without people interrupting me. They don't like it. Now, when you say a cassette, well, I can't just travel around the nation giving people cassettes. It's an awful lot of traveling, and sending it through the mail, same thing. That all costs money. And just like doing it with either of my phones or my computer, I still need a place to do it. My record is skipping, typed, or a website. Well, that sure would be nice if I wasn't living in a vehicle with disabilities. There's lots of great ideas that you could sit here and spout off for days and days and days. But them good ideas don't give me the ability to do them. Like, I could sure use a GoFundMe. That sure would be nice, but I don't have anyone to help me do it. The guy that I did have to help me do it, well, he tried. He wanted to forget a very important detail. You can't have that sent to a P.O. box. It has to be sent to an actual address. And these are all things that probably shouldn't be tried to explain fucking butt crack away too goddamn late at night. After you've destroyed a man's life the way they destroyed mine, that man should be allowed assisted termination of life. He should be allowed to die with dignity instead of be bullied for the rest of eternity. Natalie Bollinger is dead because she was dumb. Natalie Bollinger is dead because she helped the predators get away. She was embarrassed. Poor her. I told on her predators for a reason. Because they were mine too. While there are people who actually raped and molested Natalie Bollinger, I'm the one who gets treated like it. In her own words, she said who did those things, and I was not one of them. But nobody hears me, and nobody listens to her either. You don't stop to think how horrible people really are until they're that horrible to you, and then you wish somebody gave a shit. Everybody does when they're being victimized. They wish somebody cared. My record is skipping, type. I've been looking through some of your videos. I think you should make a free website. I don't have the fucking ability, dude. I'm not a computer dude. I'm not a computer dude. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars of disability money paying people to help me with this computer shit because I fucking can't. And all you're doing here is trying to give all these ideas that cost fucking money and take a place to fucking do it. I don't have the ability. I don't have the money. I don't have the fucking time. My record is skipping typed, I was hit in the mouth a year ago, and man, my lip was fat and bleeding. I think I have to try to brainstorm where you're hitting a roadblock. That wasn't properly written. You're hitting a roadblock repeatedly. Yeah, I am hitting it repeatedly. It's because I'm in a state of crisis, and I have no friends or family member who are going to help me. Have I tried? You know, I have a YouTube channel because I'm trying to get heard. My YouTube channel is 6 years of me speaking up about abuse and trying to get help stopping it. And having to try to teach each new person who comes to my channel about what's going on. While there are 10 million questions get in the way, then they have 10,000 suggestions that are magically going to fix it. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Oh, I'm going to brainstorm and see if I can look up something on the internet that Sean's already tried a dozen times or more by himself. Nobody could possibly do this in my position. My record is bleeding type. No one wants blood on their hands. Really? My friends got plenty of blood on their hands. The people who called me friend, the people who called me family, they have plenty of blood on their hands. I can't function because I can't get heard. I answer people's questions to the best of my ability. But having to fill in somebody on 7 years worth of abuse, somebody who's only been here a couple of days, that's literally impossible. My record is skipping typed, oh my ears, dude, don't yell at me. I'm not yelling at you. People who are new to my channel, well, I'm sorry YouTube put you here. I'm sorry YouTube thought you would like it. I'm not going to say sorry for my content. My record is skipping type, get a hold of yourself. Yeah, that's shitty advice. And I'm going to tell you where you can shove that in just a minute. But I'm going to find my tobacco pipe and that bag of cigarette butts that I found and smoke me a cigarette before calling you names. Giving advice does not help the victim. Telling the victim that they need meds or that it's not okay for them to yell. No, it absolutely is. You came to my channel, not the other way around. I didn't go to your channel. I'm not yelling on your channel. I'm not typing on your channel. I'm on my channel trying to get heard. And I don't hate you. I don't even know you. And I hope you're not going through what I'm going through. And I hope you never have to. My car doesn't work. It was working when the people who claimed they were going to help claims that they were going to help. And it took them a really long time of not keeping their word for me to still be here. But now my car doesn't work. And even though I wasn't able to take care of myself before, at least I had a car that worked. And now there's no option for me except for my life to end. My record of skipping wants to type a bunch of shitty advice. I don't give a fuck about your advice, my record of skipping. I don't give a fuck that you're a total stranger. You type, if you talk to your friends and family like you're treating me, Jesus fucking Christ. No, I'm not Jesus fucking Christ. I'm Sean David Schwartz. And I talk to my family worse than this. Because my family are shit for human beings. If you were going out of your way to be a shitty excuse for a human being, yeah, I'd treat you like family. But you're not going out of your way to be a shitty excuse for a human being. You are being a condescending goddamn fuckhead, though. And you're whining that I'm saying so. Well, poor you. Get the fuck off my channel if you're so goddamn butthurt. People are fucking dead, but your little fucking Tweedle ass wants to fucking whine because I fucking speak up? Because I'm too fucking loud? Holy fucking shit, you can type some goddamn curse words. Can I? Fuck, yes I can. See, when you're giving that banter, I give a bit of that banter back, and you don't like it. That's okay, I don't expect you to like it. I don't fucking like it when you do it. I get that you're new here. I don't hate you for being new. I don't hate you for not understanding. I don't hate you for your assumptions. Right now, I'm having to try to communicate through a severe panic attack and a whole bunch of fucking loss and a shit ton of fucking pain. A lot of fucking assaults. And god damn it, I'm going to use words like goddamn and fucking. Even if you're offended by it. You see, I'm offended by sexual assault. I'm offended by abuse against children. I'm offended by abuse against at-risk adults. Hell, I'm even offended by dead bodies. I find dead bodies highly offensive, especially if they could have been prevented. Now, does any of this mean that I hate you? No, it doesn't. My record is skipping typed, you keep saying abuse by police, but you've been abusive to me. Jesus fucking Christ, you goddamn cockfuck. Holy fucking shit. You can't take a little bit of verbal fucking abuse? You can't take a little bit of fucking cussing? You can fucking type, can't you? You can fucking curse. You can be fucking condescending. If you're gonna be a little fucking shitwipe, be a fucking shitwipe elsewhere. Yes, I'm capable of being abusive back. I am entirely capable of it. We can have this banter back and forth all night. My record is skipping typed, well, maybe it's a ZBM. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Really? You want to call me names? I'm being nice to you. Yeah, somewhat. And sometimes you're name calling and being condescending. What I'm trying to do is give you a fair sense of equality. You don't like the stuff that I'm saying. You find it abusive. You find it offensive. Well, holy shit, then we're in the same boat. You and I ain't going to agree on everything. Thank goodness I'm the one in my situation, so my opinions are the ones that count in my situation. Your opinions count in whether or not you help me or not, and whether or not you're condescending, and whether or not you're taking it seriously. Now, obviously, I'm being nice to you right now, aren't I? I'm acknowledging your existence. I'm acknowledging every word you type. I'm making sure that you get attention. I'm even letting you control the engagement currently. My record is skipping type. Can you relocate to a different part of... No, I fucking can't. See, that's the thing. I can't do any of that. I'm disabled. I can't do any of that. I can't. My vehicle is busted. No matter where I move, I'm going to be abused because of the situation with Natalie Bollinger. And that's why it's important. My record is skipping type. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're so mean. No, I'm fucking not. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of people coming on here wanting to play 20 fucking questions, but not listening to anything I'm saying. It becomes about making suggestions and typing pretty memes. A bird in the hand is two up the ass. Now, is that offensive to you? Do you feel that that is directed at you? My record is skipping. Type me too. We all die. Oh, my record is skipping because you type all die? Yeah, I can get a protection order against you. Take you to court and destroy your life. Now you think that I'm kidding, but I'm not. People will literally twist your words in all sorts of ways. If you say we all die, there might be somebody out there, some little Tweedledee who's fucking offended by that and wants to twist it into you're threatening to kill everyone. Someone like Leslie Snell. My record is skipping type. As a matter of fact, I'm 1 year closer to death today. Well, very nice. My record is skipping type. I've never been talked to this way by anyone. Well, you're welcome. Welcome back to the real world. I don't know where the hell you live. Here's what helps the victim stop the abuse. Find out their story. Not make it 20 questions. Not tell them how to think and how to feel. I am mean. I admit that I'm mean. I'm mean for a reason. It's literally the only thing that gets heard. You're goddamn right I'm mean. People are mean to me and nobody does a goddamn thing to stop it. You want to say two wrongs don't make a right? Well, you're wrong about that. Man comes into your house, starts shooting up your family. Well, you may claim that it's wrong to shoot the man back, but I say by all means pull the goddamn trigger. We all got different opinions on things, don't we? But when it comes to abuse, if you're going to be a whiny little fucking twit over words, pay attention to the words that I'm using. Am I calling you a pedophile? Am I calling you a rapist? Am I walking into your place of employment and screaming at the top of my lungs that you're a child molester and a rapist? That you're a murderer? If you're disabled, am I walking into wherever it is that you go to get help as a disabled person and screaming that shit in there? Am I wandering around calling you the N-word wherever you go? Am I getting a hold of my friends and family and having them come down and hurt you? No. No, I ain't. My record is skipping typed. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Read what I said. No, I like that saying. What? I said I'll die. Exactly. We do all die. My record is skipping typed. Is that not true? It is absolutely true. It is absolutely true. We all die. We are all gonna die. And we all deserve to die. Every one of us. Every human being, every man, woman, and child who has ever existed. None of us deserve to live forever. And anybody with half a brain wouldn't want to. People who are hurt people. It's a very true saying. Does that mean it's okay? No. Those of you who say I'm an asshole, you're absolutely right. Those of you who say, oh, you shouldn't say this and you shouldn't say that, you're absolutely wrong. I say that which is necessary. I don't hate you. I hate the fact that you don't kill me. I don't hate you. I hate the fact that you don't find out what's going on and help speak up. Now, with you being here only a couple of days and me going through 7 years of abuse, obviously, you're a small fry. You're a little raisin. You know? Like, I have actual severe problems. And you're not one of them. You're not assaulting me. You're not threatening to kill me. You're not threatening to kill my friends and family. You're wasting a bit of time, but there's a possibility you might learn and understand. My record is skipping typed. No one's immortal. You probably don't get many friends that way. Unless they're glutton. You should meet who I used to be. See, this is me trying to get fucking heard. You're offended by curse words. Holy shit. You type that you like curse words, but you keep getting offended by them. I'm cursing for emphasis, asshole. That's name calling. Now, there's more than once in here that I've cursed for emphasis, and more than once that I've cursed to be an asshole and specific directly to you. Now, why do I do that? Is it projecting? Is it trying to feel bad for all of the people who've hurt me in my lifetime? Or is it to give you a tiny taste of what I have to go through every day? Through all of this, you look at all of your typing. You notice that I've acknowledged nearly everything that you've typed. However, we haven't gotten anywhere as far as your education of my situation goes because we're not using a proper format. And I need to go to sleep, so I'm hang up on you. Now, obviously, you're not some jackass out to destroy my life. You're not one of those dudes who types over and over again, "You're mentally ill, you're mentally ill." You did type that medication comment. However, I took it in stride and insulted you back. And that is an insult. You're aware of it. You need meds. You're maladjusted. Does that really mean that you're in need of meds because you're maladjusted? No, it doesn't. It just means someone's getting condescending with you. A show of disrespect. Let's see. The bits in the hand saying I liked. Bird. How come you weren't reading the part about paying for your car so you can relocate somewhere else? How far back was that? Someone calling themselves Lit Romney the Rainbow typed, "Are you ebbing, sir?" Well, we'll ignore that person for a little bit. My record is skipping typed, "I'm doing my best. How endearing, I'm trying." I believe you, my record is skipping. That's why I told you to reach out to me on emails. doggedroman@gmail.com. You get to find that I'm a lot more vulgar than I was on this channel. This is a very mild one and a very nice one. I do make a lot of really nice videos, and I also make a lot of really mean ones. Pointing out a fact of life is not mean. Giving people examples, also not mean. My record is skipping typed, "I'm not offended by curse words." My record is skipping typed, "Believe me, cussing doesn't offend me whatsoever. Screaming in my ear is annoying. Don't I know it?" Sorry, I'm half asleep. I just hope I don't get towed tomorrow. My record is skipping typed, "Okay, I guess it's time for me to leave. Cheers." Well, don't forget to drop me a line at doggedroman@gmail.com. That'd probably be a more appropriate way to communicate, wouldn't you think? Anyway, good to be with you. Thank you for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and you are your sister's keeper too. And no victim left behind. My record is skipping typed. In all honesty, I truly do want you to be all right in life. Well, so do I. That's why I was sending you my email address there, so that you and I might be able to correspond in some place that was, I don't know, a little more appropriate than YouTube. doggedroman@gmail.com. Anyway, I do my worst rambling when I'm half asleep, so if I do any rambling before I shut off the video, I'm sorry I wasn't able to turn off the video before going to sleep.